phone just cut off?
I'll never know what Yahoo is.
Oh my God. What is Yahoo, Mike? Yahoo.
Yeah, me?
No.
I can, okay.
Do you want to answer? Go ahead.
I'd rather hear your answer first.
No, you go ahead.
No, let's hear your answer.
Listen, Yahoo's a great company that is very, very strong in content for its users, uses amazing technology to serve up what increasingly we think is going to be the web of one. For instance, on our Today module on the front page, every 5 minutes, we have 32,000 different variations of that module. So you don't even know what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
In fact, we serve 1 million different front page modules a day, and that's just through content optimization.
So
that's just the beginning. Customized because we know the things you're interested in. Maybe you don't like light entertainment, maybe you like a certain sports team, et cetera, and our click-through rate went up twice. So the point is, people come to us to find out what's going on in the world in a very nice, quick fashion, to do their communications through mail and messenger, check in on their teams. We all know about Yahoo Finance. It's a place where you can just get it together.
Okay.
It's collated for you. It's all the things that as you're moving, you can even get your social information there. But you know, everybody moves through many websites in a day. Yahoo's one they always stop at.
Okay. You had some news today that you have partnered with Match.com.
That was one piece of news.
And they are now powering your personals, and you're moving your existing personals product to direct to that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why abandon such a large property?
Well, personals is something the company actually hasn't been focusing on that much for about 3 years, and so to ramp it back up, we didn't think was actually in the sweet spot of what we do. It's more the same thing with hot jobs. I think during the time when Yahoo bought into both of those concepts was when diversification seemed to be many kinds of services instead of many kinds of content, whether it's our editorial content, our licensed content, or now with associated user-generated content, so that people really can, especially as you get into the local part of your world, the long tail of content, you really need to get that from the folks that are on the ground there. So I gave an example the other day. I was trying to decide whether I should fly to Europe a couple weeks ago with the cloud, you know, not the kind of cloud we all talk about, but the volcano cloud. And I checked in on the Yahoo front page, and there was an AP report, but it was 17 hours old.
Yeah.
What the hell am I going to do with 17-hour-old volcano information? You know, I need real live Twitter-like feeds, you know, content brought in by people there and at the airports and so forth. So that's what Yahoo stands for. Personals was something off the side.
Are there any other of the big Yahoo properties that, you know?
No.
That's it. So we've now gotten rid of everything that you're not focused on.
Right.
Everything that's left, you're focused on.
Right.
Okay. What about this? I'm sorry. What was the other announcement today? It was a Nokia announcement.
We had an announcement with Nokia, and they're going to be using our mail and messenger on all of their internet-enabled handsets around the world, and we will use their map and navigation services on both mobile and PC.
Are we getting feedback from Carol? Is now both of her mics on? Are we good out there on audio? We're good. Okay. How important is mobile to Yahoo going forward?
Oh, mobile is extremely important. You know, of the 82 million, I'm sorry, internet mobile devices in the U.S., we're on 37 million with our comm stack and search, and so we really have half the U.S. market. People don't think, they just don't think that's true, but it is. And it's especially important in emerging, where new to the net folks come on through handsets.
Yeah.
They don't have PCs. So very fact of the matter is the first application most of the users in the emerging part of the world want to use is Messenger, because that's how they communicate with people. But their friends and so forth. So getting Messenger on the handset company that really outside the U.S. is dominant was really important to us.
Is that a signal that you're partnering with Nokia? Is that a signal that you're very, very focused on emerging markets, lower end handsets, that you didn't make announcements around higher end handsets?
Well, we already have iPhone apps, we have RIM apps, and our Android stack will be coming out soon. So, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that outside of the U.S., the hero phones are, the A through F phones are still getting the dominant use. Still has to be internet enabled, it doesn't matter. But no, this is just a way to broaden the platform. We're already have alliances with 100 OEMs. So whether it's the Samsungs, Nokias.
Are there 100 OEMs?
Mm-hmm. OEMs and carriers, yeah.
Okay.
There are.
What phone do you
A more
have?
disturbing number, by the way, is that we're on like 2,300 different handsets. I mean, it's like the old days of Unix. All you're doing is porting to different variants. What kind? I carry BlackBerry and an iPhone.
Okay. No Android.
No. But
Audience members, iPhone? Hands down up for BlackBerry? Hands down up for Android? Hands down up for anything else? 3 people. I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about your product organization. I think that we could talk about the financial health of Yahoo, and you actually seem to be doing quite well. But I'd rather focus, and I think this audience is probably more interested on what Yahoo is from a product perspective. You've made some changes in the organization, and there've been some departures at the senior level. And we don't need to talk about those. But the new blood is Blake Irving. And Blake, has he officially started maybe a week ago?
Last Monday.
Okay, last Monday. And I want to put this carefully, but is he the person who runs product at Yahoo now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you consider him a product czar? Is there a committee? Does he answer to you only? Just how does it work when you guys sit around and talk about what Yahoo is and is going to be at a high level? Is it his job to sort of is he the quarterback? You can imagine how maybe a Steve Jobs acts within his own organization. I get this sense that Steve is in charge of product. Is he that person?
Well, first of all, you can't find any VP engineering, VP product anywhere that compares to Steve Jobs. So
and I didn't mean to make that.
Let's start with that being just an unfair comparison. I have a head of labs, Prabhakar, that reports to me.
Yep.
Blake reports to me. Under Blake, there's 3 segments: our advertising products group, our audience products group, and our platform group. We have one of the largest private clouds in the world. So we do a lot from content optimization and platform. Audience, of course, is all of our audience-facing products. And then advertising, as you can imagine, we serve up 10 billion ads a day. So keeping our whole advertising business is an enormous technical effort. So there isn't a single strategy at Yahoo. It's what you're doing on the advertising audience platform side and what you're doing on audience, which is, for instance, when I talked earlier about generating all this different content on the fly through both machine and editorial optimization. The second thing that we're in the process of looking at, and in fact already testing, is optimizing page format on the fly. Because for instance, we know that males have banner blindness, but actually we'll look at ads in the lower left-hand corner. Women like banners in the upper right-hand corner. And so why should I...
Why?
Because you're odd.
Males are odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, it makes more sense.
So why would I ever waste, the wrong position?
Yeah. Yeah.
So slow. On the page, okay? Why would you ever do that? And because the advertiser, you know, you don't get the click through, et cetera, et cetera. So you can optimize the page on the fly for, you know, a teenager versus a mom, whatever.
And that's all great, but what about, you know, when you think about Apple and they just launched the iPad, you know, they're not really talking about ad optimization, and like it's the iPad, like it's culturally changing.
But that's because the iPad is, you know, let's start with let's have a couple different concepts here. iPad, they're a hardware company and an apps company, and the iPad is just a natural evolution, not even a revolution, evolution of what they're doing. You know, when we talk, it's like these days in the Valley, if you're not coming out with a device or a platform, then somehow you're not innovating. To be able to understand how what I'm describing works is a lot of science, and it's a lot of equations, and it's a lot of machine learning. Pardon me?
I get the science part of it. Where's the soul? The product soul? Is that what I'm trying to understand is that Blake? Is Blake or is he the chief scientist, sort of analyzing the data?
Chief scientist is Prabhakar. The product soul. The soul. Listen, there's not absent Steve Jobs. Who's the product soul of a lot of other companies? It's a combination of smart people, Mike. It's not. You can't pin a company the size of Yahoo on one person's back. That doesn't make any sense.
Have you heard that you said a combination of smart people? Have you heard the saying that a camel is a horse designed by committee?
I got that. You don't design. You don't necessarily design, but you implement by several people.
Okay, great. And is that how we should think?
And by the way, when I can just imagine that a lot of different concepts are brought to Steve, if you want to stick with Jobs.
Yeah.
And I mean, he doesn't sit there and say it's this and then go do it. A lot of concepts are brought forth, they're tried, they're tested, they're sent back. There are people involved.
Yeah.
And it's naive to think there's not multiple people involved.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Why Blake? His last job he was at Pepperdine. He was a professor at Pepperdine. Before that, he was at Microsoft.
Well, he's a professor at Pepperdine because he took 2 years off from Microsoft.
Fair enough. At Microsoft, he ran the Windows Live platform. He worked on internet video conferencing, internet phone, mail messaging, and blogging.
And the advertising platform.
Yep. And before that, Xerox and Compaq. Is that the key? The advertising platform experience?
No, mail, comms, advertising, internet.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a very new industry here. I would say most of these wonderful startups that are shooting through here are because they have a technical background or they have a great idea and they find somebody with a technical background. You know, it's like in the early days, I mean, Yahoo's 15 years old. It's, you know, one of the oldest. Nobody knew what any of this stuff was. We just came and worked at it. Blake, considering all those words we talked about, advertising, internet, comms, pretty darn good fit. And nice style.
How important is social to Yahoo? And what is social to you? What does that mean to you?
Well, back when the word social actually had a broad definition, in that you are a social person, which meant you like to communicate with people and you were outgoing and so forth. So if you start with the fact that social is communications, I mean, you could basically say Yahoo Finance Chat was the first social. So social is extremely important. When we finally, because Yahoo was really late, when we finally put up commenting, rating, just the last few months, we're at 1 million a day. Just in the last few months. I mean, the first day we put up comments on Yahoo News, I mean, you might sit there and say, well, who's going to Yahoo News? You know, that first morning we had 85,000 comments. So people are very eager to interact with people. Yeah. And so the interaction, and then to the spirit of your question, which is, you know, how do we interact with the Facebooks and real-time information like Twitter and all the other gaming, all the other things that come. It is a combination of not having the walled garden, so people can move around as they wish, getting feeds inside in a very integrated fashion inside Yahoo properties like Mail. We'll be introducing some things next month that I think are pretty exciting.
Okay.
So social is very important. Plus, You know, kind of the ultimate in social is, in the right way, you find out more about people. And so hopefully you can serve up a better experience.
More about them in terms of filling out a profile and then doing things
Correct.
around them.
Correct.
So it's no walled garden, it's allowing interaction with the site and services, it's knowing more about them. What about, I think if I asked Facebook what is social, they would begin and end with the social graph. And the idea
they'd say
that
one of
people,
many.
well, the idea that people are connected to other people and other things, whether that's a brand or a place, or is that compelling to you? Is that something that you feel Yahoo needs to partially own and you're comfortable not owning it?
I don't know that anybody owns anything anymore.
I think Facebook thinks they own it.
Yeah, but Facebook also shares it with his partners, so.
I think they rent it.
It depends on the agreement you have with them.
Yeah.
So
What-
it doesn't
yeah.
matter, as long as you get your hands on the information and you can, with the right intent, do something good for the user so there's a better user experience.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Now,
access to that data
exactly,
is important.
exactly.
Owning it,
Oh, I'd love to own it, shit, why not?
right, but it's not necessary. Yeah,
I
fair
don't.
enough.
I'd love to, fine, I'd love, I'd like to be Queen Cuba of the world, but I'm not. Who did that laugh?
That was me.
I think Scoble's right there. Have you ever met him? He's been disrupting. He trolled Charlie Rose.
He was kind of slow, that probably wasn't hard. I'm walking. God, you guys are bad.
In 2008, you've said that Jerry Yang first approached you to talk about the Yahoo job, I think at a Cisco board meeting? And you said, Jerry, I'm not the right person for that job. That's right?
Correct.
Are you the right person for the job?
I'm one of many. I'm sure there were many people right for this job. But once I found out more about what it seemed Yahoo needed, I was one of them. But there's no one special person for any job. There's many people. That's the beauty of it. There's no one person that is good as you are at interviewing people and have a brain and can write.
You gonna finish that? I feel like there's something coming there.
No but.
It already came.
You've asked press, from day one actually, you've asked press, in particular bloggers, to give Yahoo a little space and maybe tone down the sort of advice and what should have happened and should happen. And that was from day one, and you continued to do that. But on April 30th, or right around there, you
This year or last year?
this year, this is a Google one-trick pony question. You made a statement that was an aside. You said a statement that Google has some problems. It's
Did you actually see that whole interview?
No, I only read the part on TechCrunch.
No, my whole
You
point
want
is
to
that is
expand
not
on
what
that?
I said.
Yeah, they
Because if you
only-
actually see the interview, I said that Google needs to grow a Yahoo every year, which means
Right.
they have to go into a lot of different businesses.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That isn't meant, that's not a slam. That is a
Yeah.
fact. I mean, to
Yeah.
be a 20% grower, which is what they have to be interesting.
Yeah,
They have to grow a Yahoo company the size of Yahoo every year.
yeah.
There's nothing, I don't know why you thought that was so derogatory.
It wasn't just that. It was that you said they're so reliant on search advertising for their only revenue stream of note.
Well,
So,
And is that wrong?
well, I don't know if it's wrong. I mean, it's a correct statement, but is it such a bad trick to have? If you're that,
No, of course not. It's a great trick to have. I like that trick too with the social graph. That's not, but listen, I'm going to really argue with you on this one.
great.
I said they are 90+% search, that's a fact.
Yeah,
And to grow a Yahoo every year, they're going to have other revenue streams. I mean, can we
Yeah.
vote on that? I mean, I think that has to be true.
how about
Because search isn't growing that fast.
let's dive into this a little bit. Like Coca-Cola, what percentage of their revenue streams are from soft drinks or whatever it is they sell? Like 100%, right? I mean, aren't most great companies single revenue companies?
No. Why did Coke go into water? Why did Coke go into juices?
Okay.
Why did Coke go into diet drinks?
Yeah.
Why? I mean,
Okay, so if...
I mean, why did GE, I mean, listen.
So you're saying more related products as opposed to a multinational holding corporation with 35 different
I'm not
companies
even saying
know
what
each
they,
other.
I wasn't even commenting what they should do. It's not up for me to figure out what they should do. I'm just saying to
Yeah.
grow a company the size of Yahoo every year,
Yeah.
when the
To stay
search
interesting.
market
Yeah,
isn't growing that fast,
Yeah.
they have to do other things.
okay. And are you being a hypocrite by giving them advice when you've asked people not to give you advice? And I don't mean that to mince words or to try to get you. I'm just saying that, like,
I wasn't
Is
giving
it-
them advice. They were asking me about opinion on Google, and I wasn't. I mean, I call Eric Schmidt up. I've known
well,
him
fair
since
enough. Thank you for your opinion.
I gave my opinion. Because if you listen to the interview, and you can, they asked me my opinion.
Okay.
And that was my opinion. I mean, you offer me your opinion all the time, and you don't ask me. By the way, I've never had a bong in my life, if that means anything to you.
I wasn't being literal. Yeah. I wasn't actually suggesting you were smoking marijuana when you said the things you said. At all. In no way was I suggesting that. So. I'm sorry if that was confusing. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean that at all. Let's go back. Let's go back to the product. And I'm going to say what I'm thinking here.
Products.
The product discussion. You and Yahoo talks a lot about we're doing interesting things. We want to do interesting things with social. We want to do interesting things with mobile. We're an exciting technology company. But the actual moves I see, the hiring of Blake, whose experience is in advertising and products, the things that you are doing, like partnering with Match.com, unloading jobs, other moves, with the exception of associated content, which we can talk about as well, but it seems as though what you're doing is you're being a really good financial manager, recognizing weaknesses, shoring up holes, growing where you need to. A lot of financial engineering. The company's healthy financially. Stock price is up actually quite a bit since you joined. Is all this stuff about, we really want to be a cutting edge technology company, is it kind of BS? And is it just to like recruit engineers and kind of keep the excitement going?
So Mike, since you were the one that brought up jobs earlier, I'm going to continue that analogy. Steve came back into Apple in 1997, a company he knew very well since he founded it.
Yeah.
The iPod came out 4 years later. 4 years later. 3 years after that is the first time his market cap grew at all. 7 years. I've been at this company 16 months.
Okay.
And so I'm supposed to have an iPad, an iPod, and I mean, come on. You are involved in a very tiny company.
Very tiny.
And it probably takes a long time to even convince yourself what the hell to do.
I built the
About something magical that the fine people of Yahoo are supposed to do in this short time. So fuck off. That one I meant.
Oh, we're way over. Okay.
We're way over.
The last
And
question.
on a high.
The last question is are you a search company or not?
Half of our revenues and profits are from search. We have
From search or from Microsoft? I mean, not yet, but
search. From
Okay.
search.
Yeah.
Listen, the fact that you can crawl the web and index the web is a commodity as far as I'm concerned. That used to be what was so fast. Now it's how many data
It's a
centers can
commodity.
you put in?
So search innovation is done. It's commoditized.
The algo part of search, sure, you can crawl more sites, you can index more sites, you can crawl more often. That is a matter of networking and data centers. What you do when you receive the information and how you choose to add other information to it, display it, video, imagine what people are asking versus the literal clicks, which is what we've all put up with. There's a lot of innovation happening there. And that's what we're dealing with. We have hundreds of engineers working on this problem. We are in the search business. Just as HP, Dell chose to outsource the commodity called the chip,
Yeah.
and to put their engineering around the user experience, that's what we're doing. We are in the search business. It will say Yahoo search. It isn't Bing. You can't find Bing on the page except down in the bottom and little things about that big. And we're in the Yahoo search business, and we're going to make it as entertaining, as innovative, and as special for the people that come to Yahoo pages as anybody else's.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.